rolling,
Oh my
rolling,
God, we
rolling,
pushed all
rolling.
the buttons.
Okay.
Here we are at Just Us Music Videos
Hi.
for another really cool interview, we think.
We've been looking forward to this one for a while.
Stephanie Bettman is a most amazing musician. I think of her as having like the voice of a sassy angel. And oh my gosh, she can play the violin and the fiddle like you can't believe. And she has
great
a
voice.
solo act, and she has a duo act, and she's here to join us and talk to us today. Hey, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for
Sassy
coming.
Angel.
I
Yeah,
love that.
sassy angel.
Angel, but you've got attitude, so it had to be sassy too.
Oh, great. Well, thank you for coming. We're really interested in this podcast about talking about getting our music out into the world. And, we kind of have a focus on using video, but we'll be talking a lot about your journey, how you started off. And then I want to hear a little bit more later on. We'll get to see your brand new video that's just come out,
so
which
cool.
we really loved.
Yeah.
But why don't we start off with just you talking a little bit about your path? I know that you started as an actress, but even beyond that, you were doing
circus
stuff and
trapeze
things like
woman. Let's hear about it, Stephanie.
I was. So, gosh, where to begin? I did indeed start as an actress. I was determined to be an actress as of the age of 13, pretty much. And that led me to all of the theater cities. I lived in, I looked at Seattle, but didn't end up moving there. This is all after graduating from college with a degree in music, singing. I ended up moving to Chicago, and I lived there for a few years and did theater. And that's actually where I was introduced to circus arts. There's a theater company, or I don't know if it's still around. I haven't been back in Chicago in a long time, but it was this company called the Actors Gymnasium. And I used to go, and they had all kind of circus arts, and that's where I discovered trapeze for the first time.
Wow.
And I was doing a lot of theater in Chicago. I worked with this company that provided shows that were environmentally focused, like educational shows for schools in the Chicago and the greater Chicago metro area. And I played Dr. Energy from Captain Recycle
Well, not
for
many people can
years.
say that.
That's right.
Yeah. And actually that company also used a little bit of circus in their production. So we would do like basic Latsies and some juggling, and it was fun. It was a good time. So then I went to grad school in pursuit of training to become a bona fide classical actress. And that program, well, they didn't think I was hireable. So they kicked me out after 2 of 3 years. So that was quite traumatic, actually.
Yeah.
And then I sort of spun my wheels for a summer and wrote a solo show and actually it wasn't a solo, it was a duo show in Albuquerque, went back home. And then I ended up moving to New York City. And I lived there for less than a year, but I did do some theater there. And, I was just walking the actor path, really trying to make it work, running into a lot of closed doors for, honestly, for many, many years. I left New York. It just wasn't my city. I needed more sky and more nature than New York City has to offer. Right. So I ended up moving to Los Angeles. And I continued my pursuit of theater and the movie business and commercials and all of that. But just upon moving there, actually, before I'd even found an apartment for myself, I was hanging out with a friend from New York, an actor friend who was there doing a movie. And he had this card on his living room table that was this flying trapeze guy who was from a flying trapeze family. And I guess he was doing the stunts for this movie. And I was like, what? Flying trapeze? I got to go check that out. So actually, my friend and I both went and checked out. It was Richie Gaiona's place in Woodland Hills. And that's where I started really seriously taking on trapeze. I started with flying trapeze. And then from there, I met my friend and coach for a long time, Judith Hella, who taught me single trapeze and hoop and various other things. But while I was doing that, I was also, continuing on the acting path. And I did manage to get myself an agent, and I went out for commercials, and I did a few commercials, and I did a few short films, and I did a lot of theater, which LA is not a theater town. So theater is for a lot of actors just sort of a means to get seen by people who are casting film and television.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I went through that too.
yeah, yeah. But actually, I ended up working with this fantastic theater company that was so fun. They were called the Troubadour Theater Company. I think they're still out there. And they just were a group of comedic genius misfits who were putting together shows that were a combination of classical theater meets like classic music. So, for example, I did a show of Fleetwood Macbeth. You can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
And A Christmas Carol King.
Oh,
So
that's great.
yeah, anyway, that was a blast. And I did a few shows with them. But yeah, eventually I just sort of got tired of knocking on doors that weren't opening, and I started to feel this urge for music, um, which I hadn't really been, putting my effort into. And I had an experience with a partner at the time who was a writing partner who was also dating, which is arguably was not a good choice. Um, but he turned out to be kind of a bad dude, and that soured me on the movie business, good and solid.
Yeah.
So then I thought, well, I guess I'll do music because
Well, did you ever
I
see yourself as a folk singer? I mean, you're not really a traditional folk singer, but you're in that.
Singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
When I started, I guess I was sort of on the country and bluegrass path. And I don't know, I think it was just because of the artists that I admired. Mary Chapin Carpenter was a big influence. Dolly Parton was a big influence. Alison Krauss was an influence. And I loved their music. And so I've sort of started on that path. And I started with the intention of putting together a bluegrass band, which I did. I had a 4-piece bluegrass band. And then about a year into it, Luke joined the band. He became the mandolin player that I'd been looking for. And then, after about a year of working together with this 4-piece band that was sort of evolving and sort of not evolving, Luke and I had started rehearsing seriously. And so we started performing as a duo, and then we started touring. And then, not long after that was the birth of Bettman and Halpin, which, as you know, is my acoustic folk Americana duo that's been touring for the last, 17 years, but
One
That
of our,
long?
oh, wow.
Wow, I had
One
no
of
idea
our
it was that
favorite
long.
I know.
groups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so tight, so good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know, time is so weird. I can't believe 17 years. Like it's in not that long, it's going to be 20 years. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And you're still doing some performing with Luke?
Yeah. Yeah. We actually just got back from a couple of weekends of shows. We were in Illinois and Texas and New Mexico. So yeah, we're still playing. I am not putting as much of my focus on booking tours for us because I have been working on this new project and putting my
Good.
focus on.
I feel a segue coming
Yeah, oh,
on.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, let's talk about
Very
the new
perceptive
project.
of it.
Thank you, I am.
So tell us about you're evolving. What's your new project?
I'm evolving. I am. My new project, it's the bravest thing I've ever done. It's the scariest thing I've ever done. I've honestly been feeling this little voice, I've been seeing this little vision in my head for quite a few years. Um, and I'll say like probably back in 2000, maybe even 2016, certainly 2017, 18 for sure. And I just kind of didn't know what it was or what to make of it or what to do about it. And it was this idea of like, I have all of these different facets as an artist of things that I just love, different art forms that I love, obviously the aerial thing,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't really do aerial anymore, but I'm still holding a hope that maybe I can do something very simple and supported. But I still love that art form, and I love dance. That was actually my first love. I started dancing when I was 3. And thanks to COVID shutting the world down, I have been able to sort of reintegrate some of these passions into my life. I've been dancing intensely for the last 2.5 years, actually doing ballroom dance.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I did get back into aerial, and I was working out. I ended up with a little elbow tweaking, so I had to take some time off, and I haven't gotten back into it again yet, but I haven't completely given up. We'll see. I think I'll get back to the aerial gym here soon. Uh, but then, and obviously music, and theater. And so I had this idea that I wanted to bring all of these passions into one experience. And that is what has been kind of guiding my footsteps since, well, really since 2020 and COVID and time to think. Um, I mean, that was the upside. There were a few upsides
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
COVID.
that's good. You got a good one though.
Yeah. So I had some, scary conversations um, with Luke about what if I step away from booking the duo? What if I put my focus on this, new idea, this new project? And I mean, Luke's a good guy, and he was like, "Yeah, do it, totally." So he was totally behind it. He's been very involved actually in producing a lot of the music with me, along with another guy uh, by the name of Tom Capek at Colorado Sound
Oh.
Recording Studios. Anyway, so yeah, that was the beginning of the new thing. And the
So
new thing,
I'm hearing that you're looking for more of a theatrical way of presenting your music, and is this something that needs to be done in the theater? Or is it's not something you can do on like house concerts? So I'm just wondering how you're seeing this evolve.
yeah, well, that's one of the questions I'm living with right now, actually, is, so I've produced a bunch of songs, enough for an album, and I'm still producing more. Um, but the main fire under producing new songs is like, is burning lower now because now I've been trying to put some of that music into the world, releasing it on streaming platforms. And I have also been putting my focus on creating some music videos, the movie business that was
Hmm.
acting, dancing. There's a wonderful platform for including all of those things. Um, so which I do have a new music video that's about to come out on December 6th. But in terms of the live show part of it, yes, you're right. It's a question I'm chewing on. How do I bring this to live performance, which I'm hungry to do, hungry. Um, and how do chances are I'm not going to be out of the gate with the biggest, most ambitious version of this theatrical show that lives in my head, but maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm putting out feelers, looking for the people who are going to help me because it's not something I can do by myself.
Hmm.
Um, and it's potentially going to be expensive to produce this kind of a show. So
Right.
that's another question I'm living with.
Well.
Um, so, how much do I just try to perform the songs in front of people with a band? Um, versus how much do I really integrate the vision for some aerial numbers, for some dance numbers, even video potentially in the show? I do not have answers to that question yet. I'm continuing to sit with it and see what's possible, what becomes possible, who comes into my life, who has connections and skills and talents that I don't have, and the ability to help make things happen.
Well, you
So
found the people who did this video, the new video
yeah,
that you're coming out. Are they locals? I'm curious, just curious.
they are. Yes, they are local to Denver. Yes, through my continual sort of pulling the threads of referrals and asking the questions and looking for my people, I met this amazing woman, um, Piper Arpan McTaggart, who is very involved with all of the theater in Denver. She works at the Denver Center. She works everywhere. She's a choreographer, she's a dancer, an actress, and she is always working. And I lucked into meeting her through a referral from another friend. And for whatever reason, she and I hit it off. She loved what I'm making and she loved the music that I played her. And she was excited to help me and to be on board. And hopefully, potentially, she will be one of the people who is going to be on my team, helping me create this bigger vision. Um, and then she actually recommended the man who directed this music video and edited it as well, a man by the name of Miguel Hernandez. He has a company called Mental Lounge Media. So yeah, he's local. She's local. I've just been really so lucky and blessed that two very talented, very established artists locally who have lots of work that pays them their real fees
Yeah.
were excited enough about what I'm doing to, basically become sort of co-producers and work for less than they would normally work for, in the name of helping me. So it is now done. And so
Well,
now
I'm
it's
dying
going to
to
come out
show
on
it.
December 6th.
Yeah, let's show it.
Let's show it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is for a song that I wrote called Beautiful Day, which actually was released already onto the streaming platforms. And
All right.
Here we go.
Woke up with nothing on my mind. Time's up for what I think I'm supposed to find. Head up, no point in looking down. Thanks be for the things already found. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait up, it all flies by so fast. Could it be this is something that will last? Look up, the sky is not too blue. I perk up when I think of me and you. Yeah, yeah, and it's a beautiful day. Yeah, blew the clouds away. I think you should stay. It's a beautiful day. What's up? A crazy little smile makes me think that you're gonna stay a while. Outside, the rain is falling down. In my heart, there is sunshine all around. Yeah, yeah, and it's a beautiful day. Blew the clouds away. I think you should stay. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Blew the clouds away. I think you should stay. It's a beautiful day. When we walk this world together, it feels like it's ever sunny weather. Don't you say that you're gonna go, my heart will break. Tears are gonna flow. It's a beautiful day. Blew the clouds away. I think you should stay. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Blew the clouds away. I think you should stay. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Blew the clouds away. I think you should stay. It's a beautiful day. I think you should stay. It's a beautiful day.
I love that tag.
Yeah.
That's
cute
really,
tag.
really, really fun. Really, really not well done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you.
dying to know which one Piper is.
Oh, she's she's got the two little buns on her head.
That was my
in
guess.
a yellow dress.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I
Great.
call it her Mrs. Lovett look.
That's perfect.
So, yeah.
how now we like to talk to people about how they get their music out into the world. What are you doing? What channels are you using to try to get it out?
Well, getting it out into the world is easy. You know, you can distribute it through various aggregators. I'm using TuneCore. Getting it out into the world and people knowing it's in the world and listening to it is a different challenge. So yeah, up to now, I've released the songs that I've released, which there are 4 singles out on streaming platforms, all of them, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all of the stream. If you stream on something that nobody talks about, it's probably there. And that can easily be found under my name, Stephanie Bettman. But then, you know, it's a vast ocean of music out there, and it's a changing music business. So I've been in a learning curve, and you know, I've been learning about promotion and learning about marketing and working with people who actually do that as a profession. I've been, for the first time, kind of investing in myself, in that I'm hiring help. And there's so many avenues to spend money on promotion. It's you can completely bankrupt yourself and still exist in the ocean, and not very many people know about you. So it's an ongoing learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
Pretty much you can't get found on the internet anymore unless you advertise it in some way or another, which means you have to pay for people to discover you. So you know, I'm trying to find the best ways to do that
You may
and still be able
be
to, you know, afford life.
right. You may be aware of this, but we getting it into festivals is a really good idea. There's a
Are you
website.
talking about the music video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a huge market of festivals. In fact, we just have a video going out. This one, two different festivals. It's being shown next week at the Denver Underground Festival. But that's a
Cool.
relatively inexpensive way to get it out and get it noticed. And
Film Freeway.
Film Freeway is the website.
You know
And-
what? I do know about them. I actually did some, I actually sent my previous music video, the one for When We're Together, to a few, yeah. I didn't end up getting into any of the festivals that I entered, but yeah, maybe this one will. Yeah,
I
that's
think
a good idea.
definitely
Thank you
will.
for the reminder.
I really think it's a good idea, and this is another way to sink a lot of dough, you know, because each festival has a like a $20-$30 up to $60 entry fee, but it's
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea, and especially giving some cred that even when you put this out on your streaming platforms, that your thumbnail has some laurels on it of film festivals, which helps the clickability.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, it probably the timing for that is, you know, what it is. The video will be premiering on December 6th, which I don't know when this is going to air. Maybe it will have already premiered. But
Yeah. But you know, on your
yeah,
if
but
you're
beyond that, I can, yeah, you know,
you can
if it
put
gets into somebody,
you know, stick it on the thumbnail for the front of
Right.
the video. Just which every time every place you have your thumbnail. So just update that with some laurels on it.
Yeah.
So probably a good idea.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
doing paid promotion now on, you're using Instagram, Facebook,
I've been playing with
TikTok?
some paid promotion through Spotify, playlists and that sort of thing, which is honestly makes no financial sense whatsoever. But yeah, I've done some ads, you know, with the Instagram and the Facebook. I probably will do some more ads. I've actually been working with professional marketers
That's the way to
to
do it. Yeah.
clarify branding and help to kind of schedule like what needs to happen, in the promoting of said thing before it comes out and then after it comes out. And I mean, that's certainly a big learning curve for me, as well as it's a challenge because, I mean, to be completely honest, I'm really sitting with the question of how much of that work am I willing to do?
Mhm.
Um, I, uh, I, I got really burned out, this summer. I've been focusing pretty much solely on marketing and branding and launching, this whole year. I started in January. And by June, July, I was just so crispy. And honestly, there's also been a lot of changes going on in my life, which has presented me with other things to work on.
Mhm.
Challenges, just challenges in terms of just my life itself and that, just changes and changes in friendships and changes in associations, and a lot of things have been changing. And a lot of people, I'm sure, feel this, I mean, COVID started a lot of change for a lot of people. And certainly for me, it has not settled. It's still massive. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of change going on in my life. So that has also been part of this whole experience. And eh, I mean, I do believe that this is all about growth, and it's all about growing into a bigger version of myself. What that'll end up looking like ultimately, I don't even know.
Right.
What keeps you going? That keeps you going?
What keeps me going? Some days it's hard to go. Some days I just, I work on what I can work on in front of me, or I give myself a break. I try to get outside and look at, a beautiful day. Speaking of beautiful days,
Yes.
um, I mean, actually, right before we started talking today, I was just doing a little journaling about like what is the why? Like, what is, if I really dig deep, what is why? Why am I doing this? Why do I continue to be driven? I mean, part of my drive is I'm just driven. I mean, I think it's in my DNA. Like, not everybody is. I am. I'm driven and I'm tenacious, and I always have been. And so partly that's what, keeps me coming back to it. Partly I do have this desire, this dream that I can feel in my heart, and that is what, it's a kind of expression. It's a kind of being in the world in an artistic, expressive way, in a new way than I have been. I mean, I still love playing music with Luke, with Bettman and Halpin. I mean, it still brings me so much pleasure, and it just is such a gift to get to share that with people. And I'm hoping to, you know, have this next thing be even more authentically me, even more fully me, and be able to share that with the public in a way that's, I mean, I hope to create something really beautiful and unforgettable.
Well, I'm
So, I
betting
mean,
you
that's
will.
the drive.
I'm betting you will too.
I'm just curious. You I've always kind of admired the way that you've kept in contact with your fans, with your people, and I'm
Mm.
sure that you have a extensive mail list, uh, and I'm sure that you're mining that as a way to get this next stage out.
Ha. I will just admit that I have been not very good lately at keeping in touch with my fans, and I'm trying to be better about that. It's yeah, that too is an evolution. I need to get back to just talking to my fan base and just saying, hey, here's what's going on. Hi, how are you?
Right.
I got so caught up in just so much promotion, constant promotion, and that tends to happen. And it's sometimes hard to remember to just be a human and just say, hey, I'm a human.
Yeah.
Still in this. Glad you're still with me on the ride. And it's also unclear how that's going to evolve. A lot of our fans for Bettman and Halpin are excited about my new project. And, some of them it's not really their cup of tea. They'd rather just, the Bettman and Halpin stuff. So, and that's okay,
Yeah.
There's everybody's just,
Sure.
whatever
Yeah.
lights them up. Hopefully what I'm doing is going to light up a lot more people who don't even know Bettman and Halpin.
Yeah.
Arguably it is more mainstream than what Luke and I have done for the past 17 years.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you for saying you love how I stay in touch with my fans. I'm trying to be better at it.
Well, yeah, we are too. I mean, we're just trying to learn how to do it. I mean, one thing that I think that I really like about video as a particular expression is that it has a longer life. I mean, the thing about performing is great, but it's
Poof, it's
Yes,
gone.
it's gone. But video has a way of being able to live for years, really.
And hopefully in front of many, many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love video. I mean, obviously, I've been doing what I can to make some music videos happen. This one is the second of my okay, let me get a team together. Let me actually film something. I've done some sort of lower hanging fruit kind of, lyric videos and things for some of the other songs as well, which are fun and great and, easier to make happen.
Yeah.
So I love video. I wanted to be a movie star. That's what part of my time was in LA. But I also want to say that as to live performance, well, for one thing, as a musician, that's one of the only ways that we can get paid anymore.
Mm.
Right.
And there's a sort of prosaic reality to that, which is, and that's for me, that's one of the most enjoyable ways to interact with people. I love performing. I've always loved performing, and I've been doing it since I was 13, in various forms. So actually, no, since I was 3, when I was dancing, I remember I don't actually remember this. I have a vague recollection, but I think I was like maybe 4. And I was in a tap recital, and I was in this like teddy bear little leotard, and I had my little tap shoes on and my little teddy bear leotard on, and I was like tapping out onto the stage in the lineup with all this little other dancing bears, and my leotard hadn't been tied properly, and so it started coming undone.
Oh no.
And the dance teacher was like running up behind me trying to tie the leotard while I was tapping along. The show must go on. I was like, I knew that. Somehow I was born knowing that the show must go on.
Yeah, that was before
But,
bloopers, apparently.
Right.
Well, we wish you the very, 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 very best luck. And we know it's way more than luck. It's a lot of work. But
Yeah.
we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Yeah, and I hope that people will tell people. I mean, that's still the best way, like if you love anything that I'm doing, tell other people, spread the word. Obviously I'm findable on the internet. StephanieBettman.com is the new solo project, and then YouTube at Stephanie Bettman, and Stephanie Bettman Artist on Facebook and Instagram. So I hope that people will come find me, come connect with me, and share their passions. So yeah. And
Well,
you guys,
great.
I mean, I know you guys are doing a lot with video now, so thanks for having me and for,
Well,
including me. in your
Our
like I
pleasure.
say,
cool
we're
podcast.
we're big fans of yours, and I'm really glad that we get to talk to you, and I know a lot of people that we know are fans of yours as well, and I'm sure they're going to be looking out and looking at your new project.
Great. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully, the plan at this point, which I'm going to knock on wood because I've had to change dates, but the plan at this point is to release the full album of the new songs, or at least 12 of them, in the end of February.
Great.
So that'll be, coming down the pike, and yeah, I'll be making noise about that, and hopefully around that time I'll have a version of a live show
Great.
that will also be happening. So people will be, at least locally in Denver, people will be able to come and actually see.
Let us
great.
know.
Let us know. And hopefully we
Yeah.
can keep in touch with you and maybe bring you back and see how everything's going and see where your next evolution is leading.
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks
Yeah,
again.
that'd
Thank
be
you.
great.
Thank you.
Thanks, you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye-bye.
She was great.
Oh, Stephanie's great.
Hard worker.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Very
She
talented.
She is driven. And we hope that she has the best of luck and that you tell people about her too. Spread
Absolutely.
the word. And we'll see you next time with another podcast on Just Us Music Videos.
See you. Bye-bye.
Gotta smile, 'cause to tell you the truth, I got everything I need, 'cause I got you.